The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and if you're just joining me, you'll see that for some reason my entire setup has started blinking. That is going to wreck my head. Oh, that is going to absolutely wreck my balls now for the next ever so often. Right, we'll introduce everyone, they can warm up the chat and I'll sort this. It's like a disco back here. All right, so we got Ian, Ancient Silver Fox. We got Calvin, the low-key collector. And we have also Jose G. Hernandez. All right. I cannot possibly do that stream with that Christmas tree going on behind me. I have no idea what's going on here. So what I might do is introduce a topic and then just knock this off and on again. When in doubt, turn it off, turn it on again. And if it doesn't sort itself out, I will just turn them off. Not happy about this, not happy about this. Folks, apologies for being late. Again, it was entirely my own fault. So when do I start on time, to be fair? Okay, all right, so make sure we got all our banners going and everything. All right, I have no idea what's going on, but everyone's going to get a kick out of this. Ian, would you do me a favor?
Absolutely. I think
Okay.
I've got another delay on your stream.
Yeah? So nothing's working then correctly. Interesting. Right, I'm going to try and sort this out. And then what I'll do is, I'll try to sort this out. And then we'll worry about the echo. We'll get there. Would you mind calling out the gifties, as I call them? These are all troopers. They're members of the channel. But they've all been gifted from generosity of various different people. I'm just going to put that up on the screen if you can see that, and I'll disappear for 1 second.
Okay. So, who was this gifted from again?
Random people.
Oh, random. Right, okay. Cool. So I will read this out in my dulcet Scottish tone. So TX Boy 210, Darth Tamaris, Your Majesty 3, Jerbear Man Cave, Single Songwriter, The Movie Canon, Akira, Just a Nerd, Uncarded Reviews, Christian Detour Collections, Aaron Carson, Ziff 76, Ricky P, Blazing Asian, Matthew Apollo, Toy Mafia, Low-Key Collector, also a panel member, Bobastis 123, Mike Fiella, Aaron Klex, JB, Toy Collector, Mark Attack, the cheeky Mark Attack, Casual Nerd Problems, Cylon X-Men, and Collector Joey. Was the pace right enough there? Are we going next? Or we have a quick Dune chat with the chat? Jose, can you see that there's a delay for me?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, there's a delay.
I'm going to drop out and then come back in. Let me see.
Okay.
Well, Jose, how's your Monday going?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Monday's usually my day off, so I always like to hang out here with the guys here on the Hope Show. So pretty good,
Right.
pretty good Monday. Yeah, I appreciate having Mondays off because most of the times when I did work Monday to Friday, I are dreadful Mondays, right? But but having Mondays off is nice. Getting that 3-day weekend and all that.
You're talking to a man that works 7 days a week, so I could be off any random day of the week. I could work every day of the week, so I just take how it comes. Every week is different, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that 405 traffic is flowing right now and it's not bumper to bumper, so I'm happy about that today.
That's good. 405 is a nightmare most days, so
Man, it's usually a damn parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Do you like the randomness of having days off, like just randomly, like, or do you appreciate that sometimes?
I guess I could say I do and I don't, but the reason I don't is because I could at least have something planned out for my day and my time to do so. You know, because some days I'll have things scheduled, other days I'll just be sitting around like, okay, is any work coming in? Okay, not getting any emails, nothing's coming in. And then by the time I get comfortable to the point where, oh, I guess I'm off today, boom, something will come up, and then I still got to run out. So every day is different, but I prefer to have a schedule. That's how I would. I like it that way, but I've been doing it for so long now. I'm just kind of used to it. But I'd much prefer to be able to have my day spent knowing that I could get something done as opposed to guessing. What the hell are you doing?
But your schedule's a little bit better right now that you got your track back, right? You got your truck back. It's like a little bit better because you're working on your own, right? Versus your buddy's truck, right?
No, it's always been the same schedule. It's the same.
Oh,
thing.
really?
It was just a different piece of equipment. Otherwise, my schedule was the same. The pay is different, so that's great. There's a big difference there. Outside of that, but no, otherwise, no, the schedule's always been the same.
Because you drive his truck, you have to like split, right?
I didn't split up it, so like obviously it's his equipment. He's paying the fuel. If it was a situation where like I had to go out somewhere where I had to spend the night, he had to put me up in the hotel, so that was his expense. So anything expense wise, he'd have to come out of pocket. Whereas anything on my end, I come out of pocket for. So that's why.
Yeah. Looks like Ian might be back, but I don't think any of us have the keys. How do we let him back in?
That's why I was like, when he said he's gonna drop off, I was like, you should probably wait till he can let you back in. But I don't know. So.
Well, we'll keep hanging out until
the funny thing is, every time I get in this vicinity, what city am I in? I know I just went through Redondo Beach. I know sideshows around here somewhere. One of these days, I feel like pulling up and be like, man, give me my shit. You guys should let me. Why can't I pick it up myself? I'm always driving through here.
I heard someone in the community mentioned something like that once, that they lived like literally across the street from them, and they were like, "Hey, like, can I just go and pick it up?" And they told them no.
Yeah. So you're gonna charge me $400 to send a Prime One piece across the street? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, they got to make their money somehow, right? But that's unfortunate. Imagine buying a statue from them, getting hit with the $400 shipping, and you live across the street. Like, there should be an option, huh? Like for people that are local, that you can go and pick it up instead. Like maybe they'll have like a post office style place that you could go pick up your packages.
I could only wish. I wish they did have a spot like that. No luck in the lights. I see you're in the dark there.
I'm fucking pissed off. I am annoyed. It's always when you have to do something and then they just that's never happened before to them, so it's a problem for future, Shane. I'll worry about it, and it's a first world problem. Sorry folks, if you're just joining us, thanks very much, and lads, thanks very much for holding out in the chat there. You're all good to go, Ian?
Yeah,
I can hear an echo, but I think that's just because like someone doesn't have their mic on mute. So if we could just like put your mic on mute if you're not currently speaking, I think maybe that's the problem there. Is it still there? I can still hear an echo there.
For me, I've not got an echo, but there's no delay.
Definitely. So just maybe double check your setting there. So the camera's right, the audio, mic check is there. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, grand. Look, we'll get started, folks. Really apologize. I can still get an echo. I'm not sure. Is your yeah, you're yeah, there you go. 1 second. Echo. Hello. Yeah, I'm not getting the echo now. Yeah, so basically if you need to talk, unmute, and then yeah, go on. Sorry folks for just joining us there. Yeah, the lights decided to start flickering for some reason, so I just knocked them off. We'll just get on with this. Massive shout out to anyone you're watching the Hope Show. The name of the channel is 16 Figure Focus. If you are subscribed, massively thank you. 3,067 subscribers so far. Or if you've ever taken any of the time to watch any videos, like any videos, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. As usual, there's a link pinned in the chat if you want to become a channel member. And thanks very much to Ian for shouting out the troopers. There's a little present there in the top right corner. These have been gifted by various different people and members in the collecting community. Massively generous. Geez, these are the other troopers. So this is Danny Spotchka, H and Silverfox, who is a channel member and panel member. Jose G. Hernandez, the same. Brian Wong, the Ben Thomas Show. Eddie Money Mendes, who's usually with us. He's not here today. Caffeinated Comic Book Fan, or Caffeinated Comic Fan. Jim Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner. Mugwump, Mike L., who's usually with us. He's just not joined today. He's got to work. Chewy from Texas, Ryan Smith. And of course, we got to shout out the Commanders as well. And this is how we do that. They have their YouTube names or handles displayed at the end of all the videos, the pre-order previews, the reviews, and of course the live streams. New videos on the channel. My thoughts on the newly released Gorr. You'll probably hear some of them today. My thoughts on the DeLorean. The amazing head sculpt that is Scarlet Witch. We spoke about that last week. My review on Doc Ock. This figure is amazing. And yeah, just things I wish I knew when I first started down the 1/6 scale collecting route, because I think I would have saved... I wouldn't say a lot of money, but I would have saved some money and definitely not made some mistakes. Right, we're going to start now. Ian, how do you want to start us off here?
Let's go for movie.
Top middle?
Top middle.
Okay, a random movie recommendation. So if you've been watching the channel, you know that usually once a week we put in a random movie recommendation. So these don't have to be indie movies that were made in back gardens for $500, but they could be blockbusters, whatever. So what's your random movie recommendation for this week, Ian?
Well, I've already gave 2 out, so with Dune and Shogun. So what I did find, this, it's called The Proposition. So it's a Nick Cave directed movie in about 2005. So it's a really violent western. Guy Pearce, Ray Winston, Emily Watson, John Hurt's in it.
Some cast.
There's some great acting. It's for a very small budget. It's one of those unknown gems, I think. A lot of people don't know about it, but I highly recommend that.
Excellent stuff. What's the name? What's it called again?
The Proposition.
The Proposition. Good stuff. What about yourself, Jose?
I think I'm gonna recommend another Dakota Johnson movie for you guys. A movie that came out in 2022 called Cha Cha Real Smooth. It was an Apple TV movie that went to streaming, but it was actually really, really good. It was about this young man that's kind of young adult age, and he's kind of trying to find himself in terms of the jobs and kind of like where he's supposed to go in life. And he's kind of like a party starter type of guy, and he meets a young woman that's in a kind of weird relationship with her husband that he's kind of non-existent, maybe a little abusive, and they have an autistic daughter, and he kind of has he kind of becomes like her babysitter, and the relationship with the mother kind of develops. It's a really, really good film.
Good stuff. Okay, what's it called again?
Cha Cha Real Smooth.
Cha Cha Real Smooth, and that's Dakota Johnson, yeah?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. What about yourself, Loki? Any random movie recommendations that you think people should watch?
It just popped in my head. The Prestige.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Sir Michael Caine. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on Black Widow with her real name right now, but Black Widow as well. Scarlett Johansson.
Shane was like a competition.
Hell of a movie. You got two magicians going back and forth at it. You got one's the entertainer, one's the purist. It's funny. This just popped in my head. I guess it's like it would be Michael versus Prince in the magic realm. And they just go at it throughout the whole movie. So I definitely suggest that one and check it out.
Excellent stuff. There was a movie that Megan hasn't seen. I was going to sit down. We watch it, but I can't remember what it was. What was it? God. So just bear with me now. I need to just leave the fact that I have to fix these lights at the back of my mind now, because that's just going to annoy me for the whole show, and then they're done. What was it called? Cause I know do you know what it was? Sorry, I think my random movie recommendation last week. True Lies.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Because we rewatched it there Friday night. She'd never seen it. I haven't seen it in about night. Well, that movie must be 30 years old, and it absolutely. We were just laughing our asses off, like between like the scene with the gun falling down the steps and your man's friend, Arnie's friend in it. He's just hilarious. Like he's just put out, yeah. And then we were speaking, and I was asking her had she ever seen Wayne's World, and she'd never seen Wayne's World. So we're going to watch Wayne's World 1 and 2. So if there's an off chance there's people in the chat who haven't seen Wayne's World, check out Wayne's World 1 and 2. And it reminded me of Wayne's World because I think Cassandra from the Wayne's World movie is like the bad girl in True Lies. I'm pretty sure it's the same actress, like, but
you know what?
Yeah,
you're right. Tia something. Tia starts with C. Tia something.
Tia Carrera.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
she was bad back in the day, boy.
Ian didn't even. Yeah, I always remember like even when she was in Wayne's World, like, and she was playing the bass and stuff like that and singing, she was just like, yeah, this is possibly the coolest woman on the planet, like. But yeah.
Question real quick. What was the one with her in? Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead, Ian.
My oldest daughter is called Tia.
Oh.
Just saying that.
Ah, see, there you go.
What was the one that she had with Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee?
No idea.
Okay, I gotta look that one up.
No idea. Good stuff. All right, so that's the.
Oh,
do you have
something? Trouble in Tokyo.
Trouble in Tokyo or
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
There
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Check it out. You'll be happy. Trust me.
Okay, I must check that out. So all right. So Calvin, what are you going to pick next? Do you want me to describe some of the things while you're driving, or
just pick one for me? I'm in 405 traffic, so just pick one for me.
All right, cool. I don't usually get to choose, so yeah, we're gonna go straight into the snap. So I'll just find out. This is something you can all engage with. I think these ones are quite difficult as well. Kind of. Right, so if you're just joining us, it's your first time watching the Hope Show on Monday nights. So we're here every Monday night, Greenwich Mean Time, 8 o'clock, East Coast 3 p.m. or West Coast midday.
12 p.m.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the snap game is we put two things head to head. That could be two figures, two statues, two classic movies, two characters, and you've got to snap away one of them into non-existence. So speaking of Wayne's World, two Mike Myers movies, you have to snap away one. Good luck, never can watch it again. So you've got Wayne's World, you've got Austin Powers. Ian, I'm going to put you on the spot straight away. What would you get rid of?
I have to go and snap Austin Powers because Mark Attack said I look like Wayne tonight. So,
so you're keeping Wayne's World. Yeah, I would also snap away Austin Powers. I do think Wayne's World has the edge for me because that kind of 90s kind of grungy kind of style comedy, what it is. So I really like it. Yeah. Jose?
I think I'm going to go Austin Powers. I'm going to keep that and snap Wayne's World because I think I've only seen Wayne's World once as a little kid. I didn't fully understand it. Austin Powers I've seen a lot more times, so just for that specific reason. I might revisit Wayne's World though after this.
I think you should. I reckon, you know the way when you watch things as a kid and you're like, you enjoy them, and then like you watch them as an adult, you're like, whoa, I didn't really get all these innuendos, like, and you're kind of like,
yeah,
I get you. Even like, not so much now, but like, say, I remember when I was a kid, like Friends was kind of the big thing. Say, I think it would have started maybe when I was 10 or something like that. I remember watching like as a younger kid and through my teens, it was like some of the jokes that I didn't really get that, and then they're always on TV. Well, they used to be always on TV maybe about 10 years ago. I'm watching them going, now I get to that. But yeah, I'd snap away Austin Powers. Ian snap away Austin Powers. Jose's gonna snap away Wayne's World. What about yourself, Calvin?
I gotta make it an even split. I think I gotta split snap Wayne's World. I vaguely remember it from like being younger, but I definitely remember Austin Powers in the trilogy. I believe that was high school for me, so I love that trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Feel free to participate in the chat, folks. Next one. Would you snap away the forthcoming INART Aragorn, which is, in my opinion, the most stunning prototype that I've ever seen in terms of 6-scale figures? Or would you snap away the forthcoming INART BVS Henry Cavill Superman? What do you think, Calvin? I think I know what you're going to do, but go on.
Seeing how I have one of these ordered, Aragon's gone. Sorry, brother.
Yep. Okay.
I got to go with that Henry Cavill.
Yep. Jose?
I'm gonna have to go, same way. Even though it hurts me, Aragorn, you bow to no one. I mean, oh man, come on, man, you're killing me there, man. But Henry's my guy. He's my Superman. So, and that's the one I have on order. So,
Excellent
gotta
stuff.
snap Aragorn.
And Ian?
Oh, Superman's getting snapped, no problem. No problem. Like, easy.
Didn't even think.
Oh, well, we found the kryptonite.
Yeah, Ian is the kryptonite. Well, poor Eddie found that kryptonite there on Saturday night. God bless him. If he's watching, we love you, and we hope you're okay. I'm gonna get rid of Aragorn because look, I have the BVS on pre-order. But that Aragorn, my God, that is one of the most stunning looking pieces, prototypes that I've ever seen. All right, and the last but not least, snap away Blade Runner or The Empire Strikes Back. Jose, you look annoyed. You can go first.
I hate you, man. I hate you.
I know.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I this is one of those where I'm like, I'm gonna pretend my internet went out and not answer the question.
It's all right. We'll kick you out and we'll never see you again.
Oh gosh, I hate you, man. I can't.
But you can.
I literally just watched Blade Runner at the Chinese theater a couple months ago. Great experience, man. They had like an anniversary type of thing. A lot of just all fans just watching it like we were watching it for the first time, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh man.
There's a market for that. There's a market for that whole like, vintage cinema thing where they only show old movies. Like, I'd love that.
Well, I got to go with my first instinct, which was to snap Blade Runner. But man, I hate you though.
But it kills you on the inside. Yeah, good. I love it. I love it. Ian.
I'm on mute. Yeah. Adore these two movies, but it's going to have to be Blade Runner. Empire Strikes, just
Calvin?
just awesome.
Blade Runner's gone for me. I'm all in on Empire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's going to be a clean sweep here. I hate to do it because Blade Runner is definitely one of the best science fiction movies ever made. But I think I prefer watching Empire, to be honest. So I think that was. No one feels good about this. Everyone's deflated. That's what we do here. So thanks very much for playing my games. All right, so we'll go back to the main grid then. And Jose, is it your chance to choose? I think it is.
Sure, I haven't picked yet.
Yeah, Ian, you picked first, didn't you? Yeah, and then I picked for Calvin. All right, what you going to pick?
Let's go with. Where we just snaps. Why don't we do Gorr, the God Butcher?
Okay, cool. We'll talk about a figure. So before we do that, I want to run through and say hello to everyone because at the start, between me being late as usual and my lights acting up, still annoyed about that. I just hope it's an easy fix. Massive shout out to the people who are watching live. We got 37 people watching live, or if you're watching the replay, greatly appreciated as well. Saw Dune Part 2 on Friday gone. It was sci-fi brilliance, sci-fi epicness. Mitchell Lawrence absolutely loved this. Of course, we got Ian H and Silver Fox with the blue wrench there warming up the crowd. We got Mark Attack. This is about to get spicy with all the Dune talk. I'm not sure. We'll see. Possibly. So the Noble Young. Have I got rid of everyone here? Sorry, that's my mistake. Noble Young, thanks very much for being here. We got Malika Mabane, thank you for being here. Mike Fiala, Focus, I watched Return of the Jedi, so all that was needed to defeat the Empire was the galaxy's version of Care Bears. Yes, exactly. Your journey is complete. You're now a Jedi. I'm glad you watched that. But yeah, Ewoks, you either love them or you hate them. So who else do we have? We got the 12-inch Moose Dream. Thanks very much for being here. Do appreciate you being here. Who else do we have? And yes, he's giving out to me because I'm absolutely late, and he's dead right. He's 100% dead right. I'm not even going to moan, I just apologize. Thrawn's office is here, previously known as Mike L. Collections are built on stuff. Right. We got Jose G. Hernandez, channel member, panel member, warming up the crowd as well. Collector Joey, how are you, Collector Joey? Great to see you here. Thanks for being here. We got T-Ria, X-Man Supreme. What else we got? We got Mark P. Dune chat hasn't even started. I have a ghost, yes, a ghost in the shell of my Blalidins. I hate when you put effort into something, then it's just... Right, Collector Joey, last name is the best. I must have missed something there. The last name is... I must have missed something. Who else do we have? Phil, of course, usually here joining us, channel member and panel member. Can't be with us today, but his presence is missed. We got Clinton Martin, of course, Noble Young and Keith. We've got Yomo. We got just got to work, Brad. Hopefully this helps you through this dark time, and hopefully your shift is not too long. What else we got? I think we're kind of getting close to the end of it. So we got everyone's going Wayne's World, man. Everyone's going Wayne's World. It seems that Austin Power's not going to look in. Alright. We're kind of getting there. Bye bye Blade Runner. Mark P, no comment. You're not playing the game right. You're not playing the game right. Okay, we're... Alright, okay. Getting a bit of work done, listen to this. Good stuff. And the Empire was beaten by the power of merchandises. Yeah, it's well reported that George Lucas, I don't think he got any profits. I'm not sure he got any profits from the actual movies, but he kept all the merchandising rights, which was one of the best business decisions in history, really. Okay, right, so thanks very much for being here. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, I do appreciate it. Alright, so what's next? We got a lot to talk about. Oh, you want to talk about Gorr? Sorry, I apologize. And Gorr we shall look at. Got all the tabs ready. Okay, right. So this is the Gorr from Thor 4 Love and Thunder. I thought this film was absolute shite. Waste of time. Just how much does a cinema cost these days? I mean, a ticket could cost anywhere between 10 and 15 euro. And then you get there and popcorn could cost 50 quid for two people. Like, and then kind of getting sick and tired of going to the movies to see these MCU movies wasting my time. But I'm not going to give my opinion on this. I'm going to I'll wait till the end. Jose, you picked this. What are your thoughts? I'll flick through the photos. If you want me to stop or move forward or backwards on any of these photos, you let me know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think the movie definitely left a lot of sour taste in people's mouths. In particular, this one, I think it's because Taika had the goats. Yeah, a lot of people were annoyed by the goats. It seems like you were. I think it's because a lot of people really liked Ragnarok. And so they felt like, this one was going to be similar. And I feel like he kind of enhanced it and plussed it to 100, right? Went a little overboard with the comedy and the goats and everything else. But when it comes to Gorr the God Butcher, I do know there was a lot of deviation from the comics, obviously from the look. They didn't want him to look too much like Voldemort. His nose is not like the Voldemort nose where, it should have been that way. Christian Bale kind of retained most of his look, a facial look at least, right? So I know a lot of people were disappointed about that. I thought he was interesting when the movie first started, and you kind of see where he's like his origin and how he came to be, and the whole sword and all that. So like the concept was good. It's just the execution of everything else is where it failed. Now when it comes to the figure, I think there's also a very similar feeling in regards to the the joints and the visible joints and things like that. So it's tough. It's unfortunate because I think the head sculpt's pretty banging. You know what I mean? Like it looks like Christian Bale a lot. But I don't know. I don't really see people buying this. Bargain bin, maybe. Yeah,
100%. So I agree. But Yeah. Again, I want to hear from Calvin and Ian before I give my thoughts on it. But yeah, man, those joints are just unsightly. I get that the company's name is Hot Toys, but I mean, they're supposed to be like high-end collectibles. You know, they're supposed to be like, you know, shrunken down 6-scale versions of the, you know, the TV shows or the characters from the movies. So for me, like this, those joints really do take me out of it. Why couldn't they give like even a swap out pair of hands like they've done for like say the kind of the first Thanos they did with the bent arm, because it's such an iconic snapping. That snap was so iconic. They kind of needed to give the bent arm, but they could have done this seamless. The whole like I've heard, you know, they can't give seamless bodies for these because there's scarring on the skin. Work the problem, Hot Toys. Come on, work the problem. Do you mean if you're going to do it right? I just think the joints look very unsightly, and they downgraded from high-end collectible to, okay, the sculpt is high-end, the tailoring is high-end, the accessories look great, but just those joints do take me out of it. But anyway, I don't care if this figure came in a bloody pulse. I still wouldn't have got it based on my lack of appreciation for the movie. Sorry, Ian, your thoughts?
We've got a saying in Scotland, a word that's used, and it's called gash. That's
just everyone. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Ian, but you might want to turn on your subtitles now. Sorry, Ian, go on.
So it's yeah, I really hated the movie, and I know it's not. We're not talking about the movie as such, but it's obviously linked, isn't it? So, yeah, I would never get anything from that movie. Just really rubbish. The head sculpt, I've said before, I think that's a fantastic head sculpt. It really
100%
is.
agree. What am I doing?
It's absolutely fantastic. Really brilliant. But yeah, the whole joints I don't like. I think they could have. I know the limitation with the silicon bodies, but could they have done swap out arms on this and had certain, so it's in certain poses, maybe go that way. I still, like you said, Shane, if it had a pulse I still wouldn't buy this. But I can't get over how good the head sculpt is. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they've had plenty of practice doing Christian Bale as well, like, but yeah, I gotta hand it to them. Like, I mean, take the movie out of it and forget about the movie. I agree with you. I think the head sculpt is fantastic, and it has that separate moving eyeball function, so it gives that more life. You can make the eyeballs move, which just makes it even more creepier. The cut and sew, the tailoring, like on the kind of what a cloak, cape or whatever he's done, it just drapes very nice. The Stormbreaker looks well, and the sword he had. The thing is though, like he didn't butcher many gods, you know. He didn't really butcher many gods. I think that's supposed to be his thing. But anyway, we're getting back into the movie now. Calvin, what do you think?
I'm with you guys. I didn't care for the movie. The sculpt is absolutely out of this world, as well as they did it. But the rest of the body, I'm not feeling it. I have not ordered anything from this movie. Valkyrie's the only thing I want to order, and still haven't even looked into that one yet. So I'm out on this one.
Well, that was quick. So yeah. To sum it up, the head sculpt looks great. No one liked the movie, and but it looks like things it's going to be in the bargain bin within 12 months. But it has gone to waitlist or whatever. All right, let's take another look. Actually, first of all, I have noticed something pop up there. We got a super chat, which is part super chat, part troll from Mark Attack, who says Christopher Nolan fans were annoying. But we actually were messaging during the week, and he was saying he actually does like Nolan fans. We just thinks their fans are annoying. But all hail Christopher Nolan. I do appreciate the $2.49 super chat. Massively appreciate it. Thank you, Mark Attack, and thanks for recommending that app. I will get on that and download that app that you were talking about. So, all right. So far, if you're just joining us now, there's 41 people watching live. Thank you very much for watching the replay. Also, thank you very much. If you get any sort of value out of the content, maybe consider clicking that like and subscribe button. That does help to grow and support the channel. We have already given random movie recommendations, discussed Gorr, and already done the snaps. We're flying through these things. So I think we're going back to you, Ian. What do you want to talk
Let's go for Jose, top right hand corner.
Excellent, brilliant. That's what I wanted. Brilliant. That's what I wanted. Right. So, this is a new segment that I messaged Jose about earlier on, and it's called Face the Facts Checker. So we're gonna put whoever picks Jose gets put head to head in a battle with the fact checker himself to see if he can earn this title. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask each of you 3 questions. So I'm going to ask that the chat hold off on the answers and do not type the answers into the chat. This is just for Jose and just for Ian. So I'm going to ask Jose what year a certain movie was released, and then I'm going to ask he's going to start because he's the reigning fact checker. Then I'm going to ask Ian what year a different movie was released. Okay, and then I'm going to ask Jose who directed a certain movie. I'm going to ask Ian who directed a different movie, and so forth. They're going to get 3 questions each. If it's a tie, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So the pressure is on, folks. The pressure is on.
This is unfair. You do know that I done a 5.5 hour shift on LW on Friday. Come on. I'm still tired.
That was research, and also I have zero sympathy for me. A Scottish man asking an Irish man for sympathy because he's a little bit hungover. All right, precious. Hold on to your blouse. All right, so we're going to start off, folks. I would ask. There's still an echo there, folks. Make sure you're on mute if you're not talking, if you don't mind. I'm going to ask Jose the first question, and I'm going to ask people in the chat, don't type the answers. And also, I'm going to ask both Jose and Ian to click the private tab chat so that on the off chance someone didn't get the memo and types the answer in the chat, they're not going to help you. All right. Are you ready, Jose? Now, this question is just for Jose. There's a separate question for Ian. In what year was the first Matrix movie released?
1999.
Man, he is correct. 1-0. Ian, your first question. I thought I had this written down. Yeah. In what year was Batman Begins released?
Oh my god, I've got a blank.
Can I answer? How long are we going to give him?
Nope. I'm going to give him another 45 minutes.
Fuck.
Do you want to have a guess?
2009.
2005. So the
That
fact
is
checker.
incorrect.
The fact checker is 1 up. He's 1 up. Okay. Question 2. If you're just joining us, we're trying a new segment. Face the facts checker. Jose is 1-0. Question 2. Jose. Who directed Prisoners?
That would be Denis Villeneuve.
That is correct. Ian, your second question. But it looks things the crowd is in your corner. It's 2-0. This to pull one back. Ian, who directed The Empire Strikes Back?
You being funny?
No.
George Lucas.
That is incorrect. It's I knew these questions. It's Irvin Kershner.
Oh hey, I thought he directed it as well.
Well,
No, he only directed New Hope.
Yep. And right, we're gonna go three. Maybe you can pull one back just for pride. The next question, Jose, your third question to lock it out 3 for 3. Who played Clarence Boddicker in the first RoboCop movie?
Peter Weller?
Nope. Peter Weller was the was RoboCop. It was I can't remember who it was. I looked up the questions. But come on a second. It was your man.
I told you guys I haven't seen RoboCop though. You got.
And I heard you.
I can picture him, but I can't remember his name.
What's it? RoboCop. It's a strange name. It's what is the name of it? Why is this?
Which character does he play?
Clarence Boddicker is the main. Is it Kurtwood Smith? I think it is.
Oh,
Smith? Yeah, would that be right?
Red from that '70s show.
Yeah, Kurtwood Smith. I want to say. I just want to double check that. Kurtwood Smith. Yeah. Okay, so you got 2 out of 3. This is one to save a bit of face. Okay, you ready, Ian?
No.
Who played?
Can I get the chat back on my side here? So, Jose knew about this. Jose, I guarantee you, I know Jose. He's been studying stuff that Shane likes, and I've been caught short.
Yeah, that sounds like something an excuse merchant would say. Anyway, so who played Jean Grey in the Fox X-Men trilogy? No one knows this.
Ah, fuck. Yeah.
I know.
Damn it.
Do you know because she also played Xenia Onatop? That's a one. That's a hint.
I can't recall her name. I'm going to tap out.
Go on.
Famke Janssen.
Yeah, Famke Janssen. She played a Bond girl, not a Bond girl, a Bond girl enemy in the first Brosnan Bond film, GoldenEye. So that's it, folks. If you want to challenge the fact checker, maybe another panel member will challenge him. But at the moment, he's living up to his reputation. Although there were no Nirvana-related questions.
Oh,
I had to. All right. So, do you want to choose something there, Jose? Seeing as you're the reigning champ.
sure. Let's go with the Super Commander.
Yeah, cool. Right, okay, where is this? Okay. That should be there now. Is that sharing? It is not sharing. Here we go. Alright, so this is the Mandalorian Super Commando from the Ahsoka Disney Plus TV show. I believe these are loyal to Maul when Maul got the Darksaber in Mandalore, and these are some of his loyal followers. They can have Mandalorian armor and horns and helmet. Would that be in a nutshell? Right. Okay. Now, I cannot remember. Were they in the flashback episode that featured Hayden Christensen and Ariana Greenblatt's version? Were they there too? And yeah, I thought they were.
Yeah, briefly, you do see them in the flashback to the Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Look, I'll start from the bottom up. So, Ian, are you getting several of these and building your own Mandalorian armor?
No. So, I really like the look of this. I do. I like the color palette. I like the horns on it. But for me, I don't think I'm getting this. I know the show wasn't a hit for everybody, but I've not pre-ordered anything from this line, but I think there's a couple of figures that I may get, but I want to see what they're going to release, and then I'll go and check it out later on. I firmly believe this is a line that won't sell out. It's one of the best looking lines, in my opinion, but I think they'll be here for quite some time.
So you don't think these are going to sell out?
No, I think if you look at some of the figures, you look at Axe Wolves and that, what they're going for in the secondary market, peanuts.
But do you just mean this one, or do you mean like the likes of, what about Sabine and Thrawn and Ahsoka, the White and all them?
I think a few. I'm not sure about Thrawn. I think that could go. But I think in terms of this, I don't think there's any grails. Hey, I might be wrong, but if you look at some of the Mandalorian stuff, right? Even some of the OT, Lando Calrissian, that was getting sold for like $80.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
So I don't know. I think the economy for people this in recent times, it's affected it. So again, I think it looks great. I wouldn't rule it out, but it depends on what they'll release. I'm more into the villain side on the Ahsoka rather than anything else. That's
okay,
what I would.
Fair enough.
That's what I'd.
But do you think aesthetically it looks good?
Yeah, I really do. I think it looks great. But the way I look at it, I mean, I've got one Darth Maul from the Phantom Menace. I wouldn't pose him up with that. So it'd really need to be something else. And I mean, that looks great. But then everybody else looking at getting 2 or 3 or 4. I'm not in on this figure to get more than one. Not for me. I've really got to think about space. So, but I do like it. I think it looks great.
Okay. What about yourself, Calvin? Any interest in this Mandalorian Super Commando?
I love the red and black has always been my color scheme, no matter what it's on. So that aesthetically is already what I like. I love the helmet. I never did pick up the CW version, so I was told that Joel would give me shit up if I were to put this with my solo figure. So
he would.
He would, yeah.
I'm undecided. I have the first 2 molds, but don't know where I would put these unless I'd put them in my little small CW section. I do like them though, but as of now, everybody knows I'm knee deep in Batmobiles right now, so that's where my focus would be at.
I think that's the first time in the history of the world someone has said I'm knee deep in Batmobiles. But, yeah, you literally are. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Yeah, look, my thoughts on this, like, just keep it simple. Like, the Ahsoka show didn't float my boat, and I'm out on the line. I think this looks okay, but it just doesn't excite me, to be quite honest. Like, so yeah, that's kind of sums it up. Like, so if this is something that excites people, then, like, you know, I'm happy for them. It's just not for me. All right. So what else do we have? So we've got the top line is done, and we spoke about Gorr. We've done the snap. So what's left is new in and out, the Paul Atreides, the movie with the stars, and then the Bitcoin logo. So do you want to pick something there, Cal?
Pick for me. Go ahead.
All right. Anyone get anything new this week?
Batwing came in.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
That is insane. Have you
trying
set it up?
No, I'm trying. The idea I had in my head didn't measure out, so I had to come up with something else. So it'll probably be mounted on the wall behind my third scale statues.
Mm-hmm. Is it because it didn't work out because it's huge, like it's bigger than you expected?
Yeah, I knew the wingspan, but I thought I was gonna be able to swing it, having it over the door. I wanted to kind of hover over.
That's kind of the hardest thing about that piece, really, where to put it. I can't hear you now, Cal. I think, I don't know, the signal's dropped or something. I'm not sure if you're talking or. No, I think we've lost him. We can't hear you anyway, Cal. All right. What about yourself, Jose?
Oh man, it was a really, really busy week. I was telling the guys on LWO, and it's just, man, I had like 4 deliveries this week. Last week I was mentioning that I was going to get a couple things in, and the Mars Toys Alfred came in first on Monday afternoon. And then I got hit with Sideshow coming soon packages of Padme and Black Adam. Both came together at the same time.
Were they the invoices, was it?
Yeah, and Vader came as well, the Kenobi Vader. So I had 4 deliveries this week, which is insane. I had boxes everywhere, clutter everywhere, and it's just, I was overwhelmed. It just, everything.
Who's fact checking who now? Yeah, Padme. Yeah. So he's not wrong. You've got the fact checked. Has been fact checked. So
it's just my accent, man. What are you? Why are you hating accents,
man? I say film. I don't judge. So you got the Kenobi Vader, which is by all means
gorgeous,
outstanding,
man.
And you're happy with it?
Man. Oh yeah, man, it's gorgeous. For those that get it, I don't really see why you would want to the clean look, because the head sculpt, the unmasked, broken, it's so good. It's so good. So I don't really see people using it. It's nice to have though, if you want to switch the looks up within the clean in the the battle damage look. It's that. Xmas
I like
Supreme,
that.
man.
I like that. He's got the two of us there in one comment. Fair play. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great figure. The Mars Toys one, the Alfred is beautiful. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's right there.
1 second, full screen for you.
I got him right.
Oh yeah, I see. He's in between. Batman
got him right there, right with Kilmer and Batman and Chris O'Donnell's Robin, which I think will be his place until the Keaton Batman releases. I don't have a Keaton Batman at the moment, so I think he'll stay there for now. But yeah, and then the Black Adam, I just opened it up, and oh man, it's impressive, the physique that they did on that Black Adam. It's incredible, man. Let's see if I can pull him out for you guys.
They're four pretty outstanding pieces. Like, I mean, I've heard overwhelmingly positive things about the Black Adam figure, overwhelmingly positive things about the Alfred, the Vader. People tend like Padme as well. And are you happy with the likeness and everything? Yeah. You're muted.
Sorry, yeah, it's really, really impressive. The cape is a little kind of fussy to manage, but I think I got it. I kind of want to get it flush and make sure that it looks okay. I would have really liked the cloak that they teased. I think that would have looked really, really good. Yeah. But overall, man, look at this physique, man. It's just like, it's really impressive, man. It's just like...
I get you. I've seen the reviews, and it's hard for that to come through to us on the stream, but I've seen the photos and the reviews and stuff like that. They've really put a lot of effort and R&D into that physique. It does look it's obviously very like The Rock as well. So that's a busy week.
It's going to be tough for me for the next couple of weeks. Got to work a lot more. I'm going to put in some extra time or something, man, because this is way too much.
Eating beans and toast, man. What about yourself, Ian?
Haven't sold anything, but about 20 minutes before the show came, I got my replacement blade body, because the present toys one, the forearm, was put round the wrong way. So I had a quick look at it.
All right.
And I have to say, the toy company done our boy Wesley Snipes a disservice in the trouser department.
Right. Okay. Right.
So,
fair enough. Whatever floats your boat.
it must have been cold when they manufactured that.
Maybe it was. Yeah, that could have been it. So he wasn't like that Batman Forever Robin then. Yo, fellas, times for second breakfast. Yeah, I believe that's towards you. We got the movie canon here as well. Thanks very much for watching. We got Mario El Profesoro. I thought you would have spent enough time with Ian there at the weekend. Of course, we have Yomo here in the building as well. So thanks very much for watching. 48 people watching live. Do appreciate it, folks. Hit the like, subscribe button. If you're watching the replay, massively appreciated you checking in. So I did a review during the week. I'm actually starting to really like doing reviews, and I will just say, I don't buy figures that I don't intend to keep in my collection long term. I do make mistakes on occasion, and of course I have sold it on occasion, and I have sold to basically for various different reasons. Usually have a double of something, or usually if a better version of a figure comes out, sometimes I'm selling, not always, and sometimes I simply make mistakes. But when I'm reviewing things, even though I'm just buying things that I like, I still want to be kind of critical or open honest with them. This head sculpt was met by a lot of negativity, and I can see why. This is not a great head sculpt. Like, just because I have it in hand, I'm not going to try and convince you that it is. None of us are blind. I think at best, with the glasses on, this is a 7 out of 10. So, like, for me, like, a banger head sculpt would be like the Bubba Robot 2-pack that bald Tamora Morrison. Just fantastic looking head sculpt. That's just off the top of my head. Like, this here is not on that level. This one for me, it's not the worst head sculpt I've ever seen. I wouldn't say it's like terrible, but it's kind of like the Loki endgame for me. When you have the helmet on, I can see Tom Hiddleston there. It's actually quite good. You take the helmet off, the hair takes the likeness away. For this here, leave the glasses on. 7 out of 10. I wouldn't give it any higher than that, but I wouldn't give any lower either. I can see Alfred Molina here, but not as much as I'd like. So that's kind of like my kind of apart from that, the only other thing I could critique about this figure is that putting in those tentacles, be very, very patient. Take your time. They're friction fit, and I was really kind of like, it was a bit nerve-wracking. You have to really push them in. It takes a while to get them in. Have patience. But my God, when you get them in and you pose this figure up the way you want it, this thing is outstanding. I am so bloody impressed with this. I knew it would be good. I did not think I would like it as much as I did. That's freestanding there. There's no stands. I tend not to use stands. Wide stance. Use that ankle pivot to make sure that the feet are flat. The tentacles are not touching the roof or the bottom or the glass at all of the Blaleeden. I'd love to show you, but of course my lights are blinking for some reason. But please, if you haven't seen a review, check out the review. I kind of highlight this a bit more. And even the tentacles, it's not that every single, there's a bendable wire in them. They're really big. And like the way that they move, you've got so much range of motion, which means that like I can fit this into Blaleeden because, you know, if the tentacles are too wide, I can just bend them and move them forward or back or whatever, and they really show off how long they are. If you look at see on the bottom left there, say his right, that bottom one, you can see how long it is, curving all the way around and then up in front of them. There's two different types of tentacles. I'm not talking about deluxe and nano. I got the deluxe, so these are all the nanotech ones, but the top ones are more pyramidal and triangular, and the bottom ones are more claw-like. My God, I'm so impressed with this. Like the proportions, the tailoring, the fact that there's a few layers in this and doesn't look bulky. I love that long trench coat. If you've been watching the channel, you just know I love characters or figures with long trench coats, whether it's Kyle Reese or the Nightmare Batman or the Matrix from the first Neo movie or whatever. Cad Bane. Figures and trench coats are just cool. And this one is no different, but the tentacles are the star of the show, and they should be. Doc Ock's thing are the tentacles. They couldn't afford to mess it up. I can't recommend this figure enough. I love it. Head sculpt is the one thing I critique about it, but yeah, 7. Also, if you're trying to do this pose or something like that, the more random you have each of the 4 claws, I think that's the better it looks, so that they're not too organized. And also you can use, if the thing's falling backwards, pull 2 or 3 of the tentacles forward a bit and just use the counterbalance and it works. I absolutely so impressed by this, like. But yeah, it just got such presence. So yeah, so that's what I got new this week. And
was there a specific reason why you used the nanotech instead of the regular ones?
Oh, here we go. I'm gonna get hate in the chat. I don't like the Raimi trilogy, and I'm not a big I'm not mad for the Spider-Man 2 movie. I think it's the best out of the 3 of them, but it's not something that, like, I grew up with those movies and I didn't really like them when I was a kid, and I still don't really like them now. I can still watch them, but for me, Tom Holland's my Spider-Man, and I know that's probably a more younger person's answer, but I just really liked how they integrated him well into the MCU. You didn't see the story of, oh, Uncle Ben dying again for the 3rd time, and I thought it was clever what they did. I was a fresh take. They just plucked him out. Yes, he had Stark Tech and all that stuff, but all his movies so far, his first appearance in, it was Civil War, yeah, and then his own solo movie kind of almost had like an indie feel to it, that Homecoming, and then you had he was in Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home, No Way Home. That's his origin story. And now he's Starkless and Stark Techless, and it's just he's got the sewing machine out, and now he's just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man again. I love that unapologetically. Tom Holland's Spider-Man for me. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. No one's right, no one's wrong. But yeah, I'm not going to change my mind on that. But yeah, so basically, and I love that scene on the bridge. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, so that's each to their own, folks. Each to their own. But
do you plan on getting any of the goblins?
Yeah, I've got the Hobo Goblin on order. I really liked, again, Battle Damage sold me. The fact that I really like that looks with the goggles. I don't like the way you can't really bend those knees, but then again, I thought I was going to get this figure in and go, oh look at that head sculpt, such a dud. But the head sculpt is like, it's just, you don't even look at the head sculpt with those tentacles on it. And it's, again, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, you know what, it's great in hand, because I've never subscribed to that way of thinking. Like, I watch, if I'm buying something, and I'm pretty selective, I'll watch all the videos. All the videos. I'll watch all the blogger photos, see all the blogger photos, all that kind of stuff, and for, you know, as much as I can. And I know what I'm getting myself in for. I've never like got a figure in hand that has been looked in outstanding in videos and photos on Instagram, and then got it in hand going, what the hell is this? Do you know what I mean? There's marginal difference at best, but yeah, the head sculpt is. It's not a great head sculpt, but I don't think it's the worst head sculpt. I think a 7 with the glasses on are a fair judgment, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, because I think Ian did it as well with the goblin, the goggles. You could always switch them, and I think that really helps the Doc Ock.
But then what about the
big difference?
The goblin, you just have him like without the goggles.
I mean, the head sculpt's so good for. Willem Dafoe that I think that you might not want to use the goggles for him.
Yeah. I think maybe because I do like screen accuracy, so I don't mind the glasses. Like the head sculpt is just not bothering me. What is bothering me, Jose, is my lights blinking on and off. And no matter how much I try to carry on with the show, it is still bothering me, ticking away, chipping away in the background. The same way as if, say, someone in Scotland or in Ireland or in Spain was to pose the Back to the Future 1 figures with the Back to the Future Mark II DeLorean, Joao would know. There'd be a great disturbance in the Force. Yeah, he'd just know. And he's not wrong. Okay, so Ian, go on, pick something.
Let's go for Paul Atreides.
Paul Atreides. Okay, so I've decided that if someone was to pick that first, I'm automatically going to forfeit and default down to the bottom one. So I don't really tend to pick things. You kind of decide the direction. But in order to speak about the middle one, Paul, we have to speak about the star first of all. I just started thinking, the first Dune movie, this is the thought process behind this. We're going to have Dune talk now, folks. Okay, I might just do a spoiler banner here. So spoiler warning. And Dune Part 2 talk, a discussion, let's say. Okay, and we're going to scroll that across, add the banner. This should work now. Okay, we are talking Dune for the foreseeable. The first movie I felt did not knock my socks off. I like slow movies, but usually I like slow movies where every now and then you get a bit of brain candy, some little twist or something really, really interesting, or maybe it's a good performance or monologue, something to hook onto. I thought it visually looked stunning, I thought the soundtrack was stunning, I thought the cinematography and his composition choice, that's what he's known for, whether it's Arrival or Prisoners or whatever. Like, he's Blade Runner 2049, his cinematography, like Blade Runner 2049, just like fast forward, don't look at the screen, pause it, chances are you're going to get this bloody frameable image. Like, he's stunning, he just has, the way he does things, he's got a great eye. So like, I recognized watching the first movie that, okay, this is visually looks stunning, the story's a bit slow, but this, like, the special effects as well, amazing, like, in fairness. But I thought 3 stars out of 5, that would be my rating for the first movie. But I kind of went, you know what, he's playing the long game here. He's using this as like act 1 and he's setting things up for Dune 2 and 3, and that's exactly what happened. I saw Dune 2 on Saturday night, and all of the things I mentioned, the soundtrack, the cinematography, say the composition, the sound engineering is so obvious in this movie that the effort has gone into it. The soundtrack by Hans Zimmer, the cast, the performance, the action scenes, the CGI, it was like everything from the first one that was good on steroids. I do think it's an excellent movie, but I just saw seen these reports like IMDb, it's the highest rating on IMDb at the moment. I think that's sample size, as in people are voting and they're overwhelmingly positive, but it's a small sample size. I do not think that this is the greatest movie ever made. I do not think that this is the greatest science fiction movie ever made, but I do think it's a bloody excellent movie. My score at the moment it rests at 4 stars at the moment, but I do think that this is the type of movie when you digest it and think about it and go back for seconds, which I will be doing in the IMAX because I didn't see an IMAX, that may increase, and it is on track to be one of the better, or even one of the best science fiction. That's as measured and I think fair as I can be. I think there's a bit of recency bias going on. I think I've seen like reviews and stuff like that saying that this is the greatest movie ever made, or this is the greatest science fiction ever made. I disagree with that, but I agree that it's a fantastic movie. So my star, this might be different to your scoring system. This is where 1 star would be like your Thor Love and Thunders. I'm giving you a star because you actually went through the effort of making a movie. Fair play, God bless you, but it was awful. Number 2 then, 2 stars. The movie was okay. It is not good. It is okay. I'll probably never watch it again. Number 3, solid. Not a bad movie. A good movie, but not an amazing movie. I may never revisit it. The Creator, that science fiction film that came out a few months back, The Creator, thought it was a good movie, solid. I definitely wouldn't call it okay or awful, but I wouldn't call it excellent personally. I feel the same way about Man of Steel. That could be controversial. Man of Steel might be one that would rest somewhere in between 3 and 4 stars for me. I don't think Man of Steel is a masterpiece. I don't think it's excellent, but I think it's a bloody solid movie, and it made me want to see more of Henry Cavill. And I could sit down, I will rewatch it. Dune for me, Dune 2 rests somewhere between 4 and 5. I won't know. I need to watch it again. But the more I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about the stupid things. Like, do you know those? Have we all watched on the panel? Do you know those things that they stick into the sand and just... That the sound that makes, that sound didn't happen by accident. The simple thing, but people obsessed over making that sound a certain way. I love that. Or the way it starts off with the quote about, something like power over spices, power over everyone or something. And that weird kind of echo sounding language. The sound engineering is just amazing on this movie. So for me, worst case scenario, this is going to get 4 out of 5. Best case, I upgrade it to 4.5 or 5. Not quite sure. I don't think it's a masterpiece though. But anyway, they're my 2 cents in it at the moment. Now I might be chatting to you next week and going, went to see it again, and yeah, it's up there. But Jose, what do you think? I want people to disagree with me. That's what I'm sorry.
Oh no, I don't. But I don't disagree with you. I'm like exactly echoing everything you just said, especially about the sound design that you were mentioning. It's just incredible. I called it a masterclass of filmmaking, what they were able to do. The score for Hans Zimmer, I think he just took it to the next level, building off the original film, the first film, and just continuing on. It's just I think, like you said, the recency bias thing, I wouldn't go and call it a masterpiece right now. I think that's something that once you've watched it a few times, you sit on it, and then you can reflect on it, then you can consider it. But everyone has their opinion, but my ranking would be just about yours in terms of the film. I loved that everything was plussed from the first movie, enhanced. The action scenes that were somewhat lacking in the first film were very present in this film. Everything, man, gorgeous from it was like you said, you could pause the movie like you mentioned, and it just it would just be a beautiful portrait. Greg Fraser, who the cinematographer, also did the Batman and also did Blade Runner 2049. Gorgeous films as well, right? So, it's just everything was top level, with this film. So I think it deserves the appreciation that it's getting. I wouldn't say the greatest film ever made, but I think it's one of the best films we've had in a long time.
Man, you've hit the nail on the head, and I was really looking forward to having this discussion with you, because the more I'm remembering things about the movie, I'm like, yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. You know what I realized? Then it's I'm trying to get this right. Villeneuve. I don't know if that's right. Villeneuve? I've heard people pronounce it multiple different ways, but Villeneuve.
That's how I pronounced it, but I don't know.
He's very good at creating an atmosphere in a movie. Like 2049 is all atmosphere, and I've heard, like, I think maybe a lot of the purists are like, no, it's not as good as the original, and I get that to an extent, but it's like, it was a bloody good movie, like, and the atmosphere they created, and just, even though it was slow, and just the kind of, I don't know, how would you describe the music in it? It's like soundscapes or something like that. It's I think this will definitely will grow on us. I do think I think some of the best music that I love, initially when I heard those albums, I went, this is different. I'm not sure what this is, but I know I like it. I need to hear more, and the more I listened to it, I liked it more and more. But initially I was kind of 50-50 on it. Like, I don't know if anyone in the chat has ever listened to the Mars Volta, or At the Drive-In, or even Tool. Even certain Tool songs, I'm like, okay, that riff is cool, but then this bit in between, I'm not sure about that. And the more you listen to it, the more you really appreciate what they're doing. Bon Iver's second album is like that, and I think there's movies that I think this is a movie that will grow on you, and every time you watch it, you'll notice something else, and you're like, that's pretty damn good. Ian, what's your take?
I really echo what you guys have said, so...
Don't be an echo chamber. Disagree with us, saying you're wrong, and then call us out on the internet. Don't you know how social media works?
I will give one piece that annoyed me a little bit. However, the score, visually stunning. I loved it. So, quickly on my score, it's an easy 9 out of 10 for me. I always go out of 10, so and then what, 4.5?
Because you're an engineer.
So 4.5. That could go up a little bit. So I actually went back and watched the first Dune Part 1, and I liked Dune Part 1 that little bit more than when I've seen it a few times now, but it starts to build, and I'm getting excited for Messiah. So I think that's where you might have this compound effect where you might go back and go, that makes that bit more sense, or it feels better. Yeah. I know people were talking about the pacing. I liked the pacing. I liked the character development. The one nitpick I've got. Oh, so I also liked the fight choreography. It was done well.
Oh yeah,
done. Very
I didn't
well.
realise that Austin Butler was so goddamn jacked.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised for that as well. When
I know he's, young Captain Handsome and all that, but I didn't realise he was absolutely jacked. He didn't look like he looked like he was about to walk into a UFC ring. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I thought he'd be skinnier.
Yeah, because you didn't think he looked like that when he played Elvis, right? So
no, he didn't look like that when he played Elvis. I've only seen trailers and photos, but he definitely looked leaner.
But the one negative on it that it's a little bit irritating was Dave Bautista and some of his acting, the shouting. It was very tinny, very spoilt teenager.
100%.
That stood out as in a movie with such an astonishing cast and a lot of talent and some great performances. That was one bit seamless. Not so seamless. Sorry.
Because it was very much.
Yeah. What's in? Go ahead.
No, go on.
No, what I was gonna say is that it's so unfortunate that with all that shouting and all, I kept on seeing Drax. I was like, oh, he's playing Drax.
The vibe I got when he started roaring at one particular part was Tony Stark made this in a cave in a bunch of scraps. He was just like shouting at people and like, dude, just dial it down a little bit, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, it was like the second time I can't remember the scene, but I was just sitting there in the theatre and going, oh, just die now. It was just, it wasn't great, but that's a small thing. I loved the movie. I loved. It's not the best sci-fi movie that's ever been made, in my opinion, but when
it's shaping up to be one of the best trilogies, though.
I think, depending on what they do with Messiah, I think it's got the potential. It could be easily number one for some people.
I am going to say something a little controversial. So, Mark Attack saying, I'm going to read this comment. It ties into this. I didn't love Zendaya's acting, especially towards the end. The way she reacted when Paul was proposing to Florence Pugh is all very weak. I disagree on the second point you make. I actually thought she did a lot and said a lot without saying anything. I actually thought, I actually felt for her there. I thought that was actually quite strong. But what I noticed that sometimes their relationship seemed quite organic, and I bought it. They seemed like they had good chemistry, and they seemed like they were, very much like attracted to each other or in love. But then certain parts, the way she said things so casually, I saw MJ from Spider-Man No Way Home. I just thought I saw the kind of like the just basic teenager kind of, and I really like how she portrays MJ because she's so quirky and she's so paranoid, and like I love that fresh take on MJ. It's different, but like I think in the first movie she was a lot more serious and a lot more like she's kind of selling us more as in we're part of this tribe, we don't like outsiders, we're living in the desert. But there was definitely part, maybe because they were trying to make her, I don't know, soften because she's opened herself up to this relationship. But I definitely saw there was a bit of like, it could have been a little rom-com in points. Like, so I know you're not supposed to say it about the nation's sweetheart and she's a national treasure, and Zendaya is very, very talented and all that. Like, you know what I mean? I've yet to watch Euphoria, but I will. But in parts it was kind of a bit, but like I still think possibly nitpicking there. But I actually felt for her in the end when she just had the rug pulled out from under her. I didn't see that bit coming. But what do you guys think? I know
Well, what's interesting, I think Ian can you'll know more about this, but from my understanding, her kind of reaction and kind of her being against what Paul is trying to do is something new to the movies, right? So it's in the books. She kind of goes along with it.
Comment of the night. Dad humor, shiny. You know my Achilles heel.
I think I did definitely feel for her towards the end when that decision is being made, and a lot of, like you said, acting without saying anything, a lot of facial expressions, the eyes. I felt that was strong. I kind of agree with what you were saying in regards to the relationship. Some of her acting at the beginning kind of was a little MJ style, but when it comes to that ending, I think I'm more on the side that I think that was pretty good with the eyes and the facial expressions she was making.
I think so. Calvin, interesting to see your take. Now, you're a man who likes his movies. Would I be right in saying that you're 100%. So much of a fan of movies, you actually go to the cinema on your own sometimes?
Oh, that's my getaway. My wife knows.
I'm with you.
I'm going to the movies. And she'd be like, again? I'm gone.
Yep.
I'll see you whenever I see you. So
2 to 3 hours when no one annoys you. And no one knows where you are.
100%. I can turn my phone off. I can just get out my head. And after this weekend and working all weekend, I was like, you know what? I just wanted to get out my head. And then it's been a long time.
Whoa, Calvin! I gotta pull you up on that.
What's up?
You go to the cinema, and you turn your phone off.
I didn't turn my phone off, but I do put it on Don't Disturb.
Well, you should give tutorials to, I don't know, everyone under the age of 16 who can't seem to do that. Come
my
on,
God.
folks! You're paying €15 to go, or whatever, to go see a movie. Turn your phone off. Like, it's just common courtesy, or just don't go. Like, it's I don't know, just.
I'll be honest. Yesterday was the first time I didn't have to check somebody for talking during the movie. Everybody was really engaged in the movie because I'm the one. I'll tell you, shut up. If I hear something going on, I'm like, hey, can you? I'm trying to watch this. Like, that's what I'm here for. What you doing? It's been such a long time where I had like an anticipation of going to the movies. Like, oh, I know this is supposed to be good. I'm telling you, from the moment I hit the door, popcorn hit me in the face. You just felt in the mood for being at the movies. Scanned my ticket. Dude was like, door. I'm like, man, like, I know where I'm going. I'm going straight to 17. I'm hitting this Dolby Theater. I'm getting in my seat. Sat down and was ready to go. And as soon as it started, the sound. I always do Dolby Cinema, but the sound quality was ridiculous. I mean, my seat was rumbling for most of the movie. It was amazing. As far as the lore, I'm still new to this whole Dune thing. It took me. How long has the first one been out? What, 2 years now?
I think, was it 2021?
So
I think that was
3
one of
years.
I think that was one of the movies that, if I want to say, after COVID. I think.
Okay. It took me that long to get through. I tried several times. In the first 30, 40 minutes I get through and I would fall off. I'm like, okay, this is just, I can't get hooked into this right now. So I forced myself last week knowing that the second one was coming, and I finally sat down and got through it. I was like, okay, that was actually pretty good. Slow, but I understood it was a lot of exposition being given and a lot of the world building going on. So at least when I got to this one, there were several things at least I felt like I knew what was going on. Now I do feel like I need to do a little more research just to get like the gritty, like in the gritty of it. But as far as the movie, I enjoyed it. It was an experience to be had. It's been a long time since I felt that feeling of being in the movies.
It was definitely a breath of fresh air. The movie doesn't follow the formula.
That's a great way to put it. Breath of feather. That's exactly how I felt.
Because you know the way, if you, like, especially, I know someone said it in the chat that you can't compare this to MCU. Yeah, I get that. You can't, because it's modern MCU is so far removed from what this movie. This is a movie lover's movie, and the modern MCU, like, it follows that formula of there's a setup, you kind of get a premise of what's happening. The heroes are doing well for a certain amount, and then bang, there's this big mad lull, and then suddenly they save the day. There's always that. It's like a graph. You can nearly draw it. Like, there's always, like, just before the end, there's like a major setback, and then eventually it's like a formula. This doesn't.
It's called the hero's journey.
This, yeah,
right.
And this doesn't feel like that because
Right.
I didn't know if I was rooting for Paul or if he was the villain, and I genuinely thought he cared for the people until I don't know, maybe I'm slow on the uptake. It was later on in the movie I'm like, no, he's just completely using everyone. That's my take on it. And then I watched a breakdown thing on it, which filled in a lot of blanks, because they said that he chose this his moniker, the name of this kangaroo mouse from the desert, and he let on that he didn't know what it was or didn't know what it meant. But apparently in the first one, there's a clip of him learning about that bloody mouse. So that sneaky fuck knew what he was doing. He wanted to be humble and not just a noble rich kid, like, and he got them all on side. And what was really interesting is, again, we want to keep it. We don't talk about religion or politics, like, but I mean, I'm not a religious man. I'm agnostic, atheist, whatever you want to call it. I teach science for a living. I don't. That's not the way I'm wired. But I have friends who from all over the world. I have friends, obviously, who are Catholic. I have friends who are Protestants. I have friends who are Muslim, or then I have non-believer friends, whatever. Different cultures. It makes it the world a lot more interesting. Like, and say I'm never gonna try to have an argument with one of my friends who is really religious and try to convince them not to be, in the same way that they're not going to convince me to be religious when I'm not. And what was really interesting is the way, even though they're in space in the year, I don't know, 10/4/29 or something, you had like this, like these like Christian influences and kind of Islamic influences. You had the prayer mats and stuff like that. But then you had this faction of who were like so devoted to the cause, like Javier Bardem's
Stilgard?
his character, yes, Stilgard, and he was so devoted to the cause. But then you had the Zendaya and a few other people, I don't believe in that crap. And it was like, this is so close to the bone to reality about what's going on in the world. Like, it was, I really enjoyed that take on it. And I hit the very, very light humor of, as it's written, you know, he's trying to convince everything he's trying to see meaning in it. And I really found that interesting. I found that was, yeah, very good. But yeah, can I ask you a question? Has anyone read the books? Any of them?
I haven't. No? I want to read it. I purchased a copy of it when the first movie came out to try to see if I could understand it better. I haven't read it, but I have it.
Yeah, this is the 1965. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, the book.
I know that there's loads of books, but like the 1965 one, the first one. Is that like, what does that cover? Is that like just the first movie, or first two movies, or how do you know what's the correlation there?
So it covers the first two movies. So Denis Villeneuve basically cut the book in half. The first book, so part 1 and part 2 is the first book. Messiah is a different book, and that would be the third film would be. Messiah, I believe, is the second book after Dune.
Right. So the first two movies we've watched are based on one book. Is that what you're saying? Right. Because in the same way that Rosario Dawson, that first episode where she was Ahsoka in Mandalorian season 2, I rant and rave about that on a regular basis, because that one 40 minutes was so perfect. It made me commit to 7 seasons of the Clone Wars. And I have to say, this second movie has made me to commit, going, okay, I think I want to read these books. Like, that's how I operate, where like I'm not a comic book head. But when I watch a movie that's so good and the director goes, oh yeah, for Batman Begins, year 1 was a big influence, I go out and I buy the graphic novel and I read it. I want to give the respect to the source material, and I also want to see what bits were kept, what bits were left out, and why. Or the second, the Dark Knight, it was Killing Joke and Arkham Asylum were two of the ones that really influenced him as well. But this is, I think the book is something I would like to read to kind of fill in the blanks and see what they left out. And yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add before we move on and actually take a quick look at Paul Atreides?
See the book, Shane, or the books. It's a tough read. Lucy's dad's a massive sci-fi buff, and even he found them a difficult read.
Right.
Yeah. So, I've not tempted it. I don't think I fancy reading them based on. I go by his judgment.
Right. So it's a kind of like they're kind of when it's tough read, is it like it just goes into excessive detail and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, it's I'm trying to recall how he phrased it, but essentially it's not exciting. It's not a gripping.
Right. Okay.
read.
It's a bit of a slog. Okay.
So
I gotcha.
Death
No, that
by
makes sense.
detail sometimes.
Because even in Lord of the Rings, like there's songs and stuff like that in like different language and stuff like that. It's kind of like a heavy read, like you really have to commit to it. But Moosestream saying the Dune books are kind of boring. Mitchell Lawrence is saying, yeah, part 1, part 2 are the same book. Dennis Dune, Messiah, Children of Dune, God's Emperor. Star Wars got inspiration from Dune. I think George Lucas was pretty open about that as well. Before we move on and take a look at the INART figure, the Paul Atreides INART figure that everyone on the face of the planet wants now. We got to talk about those sandworms. If someone had explained to me, in the same way that someone went, yeah, look, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So you got this big wrestler, he's blue, he's covered in tattoos, and then you got this raccoon who likes guns. Oh yeah, you got a giant tree as well, and some green girls. Great movie, you're gonna love it. Soundtrack's amazing. I'd be like, yeah, you're not really selling it to me. In the same way that, and then I loved it, in the same way that the whole surfing on a sandworm sounds absolutely ridiculous. But my God, that scene was so bloody good.
Yep.
I absolutely loved it. I thought I that's something that could have come off really lame. Came off really good. Apparently it took him like 3 months to film, and they blasted him with like fans and stuff like that, with like grit and stuff like that and sand, but it's supposed to be any want to add anything else before we take a look at quick look at the Paul Atreides figure?
The people cheered for that scene in my theater, like
Right.
after he was able to do it. So yeah, people were really into it.
That's pretty cool. I like that Irish people don't really do that. They're a bit more. They just don't. You know, we clap sporting events, plays, and stuff like that, but concerts obviously. But the only time I've ever seen anyone, I think I've seen people clap a movie twice in Ireland. They clapped at the end of The Dark Knight. I suppose Heath Ledger had just passed away, and also the movie was amazing, and it was opening night. And I'm pretty sure No Way Home, at the end of it, they clapped as well. I think people were happy to be back to the cinema, and I've never seen crowd reactions like that in an Irish cinema when the boys came out of the portal, or when Daredevil showed up, or when Andrew got his redemption. And it was great because it really added to the atmosphere. I love
So
it.
even in game, when Cap got the hammer, or
Oh no! Wait.
Avengers Assemble, like
Thank you. Yeah.
okay, because I'm like, I
living
know
in
they
Abu
had to
Dhabi.
cheer for that one.
I was living in Abu Dhabi at the time, and when I went and saw that, it was at one of the bigger cinemas in Abu Dhabi in the mall. And like Abu Dhabi, I think it's like 85%. United Arab Emirates, 85% of people are expats. So you had loads of Americans in the screen. You had English people, Irish people, you had Emiratis, you had everyone. They went absolutely mental for that. Mental, like you'd see in the kind of, you know, those clips on YouTube. Yeah, but yeah, and I'd say it probably would have been similar in Ireland if you'd gone opening night. But yeah. So we take a look at this Paul Atreides. A very, very quick look.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, so I've only got a few pictures here, but we'll take a look at them. So this is the INART Paul Atreides that I do think will be the subject of conversations until why don't they? This is perfect for them to put it up for pre-order now. Maybe it's not ready, but that's just one photo I have of it. I don't even think this is particularly good. I think it looks really feminine in this one, although I think the hair looks amazing. But then I've got these other ones here which look way better, and I think that's an older version. But I'll just share this tab. That's pretty damn good. Now they could be the exact same figure from the exact same day, but these photos are just a bit better. I think the hair. I'm so impressed by the rooted hair. I don't know what do you think?
I mean, it looks great, and this is one of the figures that it's going to have worldwide distribution, I believe. So you'll be able to get this directly from Queen or INART or whatever's if you want to do that. So that's something that's going to be cool.
That'll be
once they officially,
like the movie, a breath from fresh air. We don't have to smuggle them into our countries from whoever, like, you know, because I got the INART Heath Ledger Joker from Lion Rock, and I put the deposit down for the 4-pack with Lion Rock. But this might be nice just to order directly from the source, like, you know. But you're right, that's a great point. I'm looking forward to it. So I don't know if I think the second viewing will determine that for me. At the moment I'm saying probably not. But what are you sold on this, Jose, or are you kind of like, nah?
I like it. I don't know if I need it, but I like it. And I was talking to Lancelot's Nerd Corner the other day. Yesterday, I think. I was talking to him, and he was like, they should capitalize it. They should put it up for pre-order now when people are hot. And I'm like, if they put it up for pre-order now, I probably would pre-order it. But if they, you know, what I think is more likely, they wait a few more weeks, a few months, then at that point, people have cooled down. And so I'm not sure I'd get it. But if it was up for pre-order, it'd be difficult to turn down.
So if it was up for pre-order, you'd be...
Yeah, recency bias, I guess. I'd be more inclined to pre-order it, but now I think you know, I don't, since it's not on pre-order and it's something that I can still think about, and if I still feel strongly about it when they finally put it up for pre-order, then maybe I'll put it in the maybe pile. But I think it looks really good. Like I said, this is definitely one I think there's only going to be a rooted option. I haven't seen a sculpted version, so this is one I rooted. It'd just be great standalone. I don't think you even need the other characters if you don't want to. But yeah, this is.
Yeah. What about yourself, Ian? Is realistically, like, do you think this is something that you would actually be keen on?
I don't think so. And I can't put my finger on why, because potentially this could be one of the best trilogies the way it's going, and I really love it, but there's something missing. I can't put my finger on it why I'm not really wanting this figure, and I'm trying to think, would I get another character or two if they'd done them, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think
is it Gurney is that Josh Brolin's character's name?
Yeah,
I think it is, or
Journey.
Journey.
So I wouldn't get them, but so I've got a space for iconic movie figures, and there's a certain space left. And no, I'm answering myself. This isn't going to cut it.
Okay.
Not for
What
me.
about
Not for
yourself,
me. But
Calvin?
it looks great.
Oh, sorry, go on in.
No, just saying it looks great though. The prototype anyway looks great.
Yeah, very impressed by that. What about yourself, Calvin?
I'd probably pass, especially when it comes to the INART. I'm being very selective with that and how deep I go into that, just buying from the period, and I wouldn't do this as my third. So it looks good. Like you said, that first one looked real feminine, but the rest of them look a lot better.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they're even like, I'm not even sure if they're the same.
Okay. I do want to see the movie again in IMAX, and to get that experience. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I was like, I decided to go to the theater that was closer to the house, especially being a 3-hour movie. I was like, I just want to go back home. But still, I probably wait. I just wish this wasn't the first U.S. distributed one, but we'll see what they go moving forward with this.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna see the movie one more time. At the moment, I'm saying some no, but yeah. So we'll just just for the crack, I'm going to introduce a new segment. This is the last one here. I know that this is where this is where the 43 people watching live are just going to go, right. He's talking Bitcoin again. We're going. Let's leave. Panel members mightn't even stay, but we'll see. So I'm going to start doing this, right, for like 1 minute once a week, where we're just going to have a quick look at the Bitcoin price. For no other reason, it's $67,324. Just seeing how this would age. The all-time high is just under $69,000. So this is, I think last week it was 60,000. The candle you're seeing there, sorry, just to explain this, these are called candles. The green ones are these are daily candles. So basically the bottom of the green candle is where the day started, and the top of the green candle is where you are now. So basically in 1 day since the start of today, it's increased 6.52%, which is kind of insane. Like, do you know what I mean? That's a serious. That's a lot of gains anyway. So the point of this is because every episode of the Hope Show, I'm gonna buy €10 worth of Bitcoin, right? And then like at the end of 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, I'll show you, right, 10 weeks, let's say, I've invested €10. It is now worth, €7, or it is now worth €200. And when I hit the price of the figure, I'll buy the price of the figure. But it'll be interesting to see how many weeks it will take for me to hit the price of a figure. What's the price of a figure these days, folks?
Well, that depends. so go what?
Okay, we'll make it interesting. Yeah, we'll make it interesting. Maybe about that Paul Atreides. So maybe we'll work towards that, right? We'll see. It's a figure that I'm not particularly sold on, but we'll see. So once a week, I'm just going to buy €10 worth of Bitcoin, and we'll do this we'll check the price, we'll check the total investment, we'll check what that total investment is worth. Just a bit of crack, and we'll see what happens. But yeah. So I'm just going to stop sharing it now. And it'd be interesting to see if I can manage to get a figure but only invest half the price. That'll be interesting. Okay, folks. Thanks very much for joining us. The panel members for giving up their time to talk about this stuff. I'm going to go and try and fix out those lights. I hate that happened. It just really, really bothers me. It irritates me. It gets under my skin and annoys me. And now I've got to problem solve and see what the problem is. But look. Yeah. Okay. So, anyone have anything they want to plug before we go?
No.
Nope.
Not from
Cool.
me. No.
Calvin, anything?
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen. Okay, folks. In that case, we're going to end it there. I'm going to remove the banners and the sounds, and we will get out of here.
Cheers, everyone.
Right, so see you, folks.
See you guys.
Gas. Yeah, if you're watching live or watching replay, hit the like, subscribe button. Do appreciate it, and thank you very much. See you. Shout out to all the channel members, and good luck.